Just in case you can hear this audio, kindly give me a thumbs up. Just in case you can pick the audio of this video feed, kindly give me a thumbs up. Just in case you can hear this audio, kindly give me a thumbs up. A very good evening, Africa. For one more time during the course of this competition, we are back. This match shall determine who have been 8 players competing for $800. Winner takes all. The winner shall be either of these 2 players. They are the only ones of the 8 that have successfully perused through the first and second rounds of this knockout competition that is being played on set basis. Simon Nola on the table, donning orange and white, is dubbed the computer, the more experienced of the 2 players. Ceazer Chandigar donning all black. Normally it is the New Zealanders that don all black. Today it is Ceazer. They are racing to 4 per set, but racing per 3 in the set count. The first player to 3 sets shall be champion of the second edition of the Dice Lounge Super 8-man competition of Uganda. The computer and Ceazer are currently drawing 2-all in terms of scores, but yes, Simon is now leading in terms of frames won in set 1. This match is in the meantime being streamed on Break and Finish Live Facebook, as well as Peter Chobe Live YouTube, with both streams neat, tidy, clear and stable, also having the same exact commentary to present them both to you. My name is Simon Peter Chobe. Simon Lobola the computer 3, Ceazer Chandigar the Scorpion 2. Our umpire of the day shall be Farida Hadija Naturide. She'll be working alongside Henry Joko. The 2 will be exchanging officiation roles in the final, most especially per set. One thing now I must tell you is that this is the second time this exact playing format is being had in Ugandan pool. The first time that it was done was exactly just about 11 days ago at KV Pool Arena in Masaka. In that competition, the guy that is donning black playing right now took positions number 1 and 2, but the player that took position number 3, you can officially call him the player that came second to Ceazer in that 16-1 comp, was Simon. And Simon led in terms of sets. He won the first 2 sets. Ceazer won the next 2. We went to the decisive set that was won by Ceazer. In terms of frames score, Simon leads by 3-2, and seemingly Ceazer is just about to equalize in the first set. The winner of this match takes $800 as Ceazer aims for the black to treat us to yet another single visit clearance, as both players have been doing in a set that is being played at pretty much a world-class level. Ceazer 3 and Simon 3. I just want to think that the neutrals will be wanting computer to win. Of course, nowadays Ceazer has made us accustomed to the fact that when he plays against, most especially any player from his country, most of the players as well against who become his opponents on the continent, he does start as the favorite, irrespective of whether he wins or loses, because in the space of the last 3 years, he has without a shadow of a doubt Ceazer been the most consistent player on the continent. But he has to be very wary that the computer has been oozing with both quality and form, most especially in the last 2 months. He has won a comp after a long time, maybe after 11 months. Computer, it was organized at the KV Pool Arena in Masaka, just I think exactly 4 weeks ago. He did beat Hazard in the final, and did beat Hazard in the final by 11 frames to 1. 9 of the 11 frames to 1 in the final were all apples red and green respectively. It is exactly the kind of form he needs if he's to stand a chance taking down Ceazer. He has added to that victory against Hazard with another victory earlier today, because Hazard was his victim in the semi-finals, right at Hazard's own venue, right in front of Hazard's boss, who is also sponsor of the competition. Simon now on the verge of playing the last red of the first set, hopefully for him. Have white ball good enough for him to put black perhaps to the center pocket on the right if he draws it backwards, or maybe corner pocket top left. Is going for backspin. That's why probably wants cue ball for white ball to the center, black to the center pocket on the right. I think he has done it backwards well. It has a cut on it, making it have some kind of difficulty. But I think she'll be good to go. Has to be careful with cue ball. If it's played into one of the yellows of Ceazer, it could go to the corner pocket of the yellow. That's a possibility. And because he had to be so cautious with the cue ball, he has played himself out of target. A moment that would have been so critical and so crucial for the computer, very crucial, that to get to win a set, put Ceazer under pressure, make him have to fight and work hard, throw him into a few unforced errors because you are queuing good as well. But when chances like this are given to him, he never ever hesitates to punish. He has 5 yellows on the table, wanting to punish computer. As Ceazer wins set number 1, accept my apologies those who are watching on YouTube. We had momentarily lost our stream for about 30 seconds because of a network glitch. I think now it is fully settled. It will be very painful for Simon how close he came to winning the set, successfully taking the set to a decisive frame, getting so close to winning it by apple, missing the black under the pressure of the possibility of putting cue ball in the same shot. The same effect that has now gotten computer down by 1-0. For Ceazer to reach this level, his victim was Ibrahim Sejemba in the first round and Joseph Kasozi in the second. For Simon to reach this level, his victim was Ibrahim Kanja in the first round and Hazard Lokoma in the second. Your guess is as good as mine as to who used the easier route to get to this final. Ceazer has been the only player in the competition that has played a set and not taken it to, played a match which has not been taken to a decisive set in the competition. The Ugandan pool, once again, plus, plus, plus. This is the Scorpion. Most of the times when he's visiting the table, he does like to leave the table with black off the table bed. That is normally how he plays, how he wins, also how he loses. Not that he seldom loses. Having now 3 yellows on the table, what is tempting is for him to try and play yellow into another, try to put it to the corner pocket bottom right. He does get it in. This is where I say that the rest is a formality. A match that is so far having very thin margins between both of the players. Ceazer being a beneficiary of Simon missing a shot that made him miss the whole frame and miss, in fact, the whole set number 1. Ceazer on the verge now of putting, I think, both yellow and black to the same center pocket bottom right. In terms of frame score in the second set, it is now Ceazer 1 and Simon 0. Thank you for watching. Martina Ayebaziwe on Break and Finish Live YouTube. Dr. Ndu supporting the Scorpion also on Break and Finish Live YouTube. If Ceazer wins this match, there will be a repeat of the banter that is going on between his fans and the team that tormented Ceazer's team in the Ugandan Pro League, that is Roxbury. It will be the second competition. He will be winning out of 3, but most importantly, defeating players from one team in the entire competition, and that team is Roxbury. If he's to win this comp, this time he will have defeated Ibra, Kasozi, and computer players with Roxbury. The last time that he won a comp was in Masaka, a 16-man comp organized in this same exact format, then with Double Life, then defeating the entire first team, that is the starting 5 of Roxbury: Ian, Kasozi, Ibra, Computer, and Hazard, to win the money, taking positions number 1 and 2. However, the last time that he was defeated in a comp, he was also defeated by another Roxbury player, Ian Kaziwe. That was in the city of Hoima, just about 3 days ago. The Albertine Pole Association Open Championship won by Ian. He defeated Ceazer in the round of last 8, just on Sunday 3 days ago. The Scorpion has the task of trying to win the frame that is now composed of 5 reds. Quite tricky. The computer having the better positioned balls, wanting now to play combination, put both red and yellow to the same corner pocket, and doing it with ease. Opening up the frame, playing cue ball into another of Ceazer's reds, but also another of his own yellows, Simon. Counting on the fact that he has 2 yellows packed at the corner pocket bottom right, where Ceazer has 2 of his reds also packed right behind, giving Ceazer some level of difficulty if he were to go for this frame. It's only twice in my memory that I remember computer defeating Ceazer. One of them, a 3rd place match in a comp that was organized just about 2 weeks ago, one of those weekly comps that we have. The other was a quarter-final of a monthly comp that was organized at the Mango Shed in Busega, the town that is the entry point of the city of Kampala, while accessing it from the west. That comp was won by Ibrahim Sejemba when he defeated Computer in the final. My apologies for the new to YouTube network, which has again for the last 30 seconds misbehaved at the wrong end of the competition. You almost missed dear YouTubers the finishing touch of computer in the last frame, but I believe that you did catch it. On that, my apologies. I also have to contemplate only using one gadget on each network connection. Using many gadgets sometimes be an issue when you hotspot yourself. It can be a problem when the network speed drops. What is not dropping despite Ceazer's brilliance is Simon's playing level, because he's on the verge of taking the lead in the set. I like his determination. Ceazer can mean to be a bully, most especially against his fellow players, but when a player believes in their own qualities and says, man, I believe that I can take you down, I just love to see it. Simon is probably promising us a very, very competitive match. For this one, I wouldn't care who would win it if they won it in a decisive set, probably in a decisive frame, in a venue that is so full of neutrals, with silence, most of which is sponsored by Ceazer, most especially after he did defeat Hazard, who is the home player. I was with Ceazer when the match was in its final stages, the match between Hazard and Computer, when Computer was on the verge, because he won the last set quite dominantly against Hazard by 4 frames to 1. Ceazer just told me that when Simon was queuing well, Ceazer was telling me that this guy is on fire. That's what he told me. Then I told him, I hope you are as well here to shoot balls. He said, yes, today I came to pot. He's potting, Simon is potting. You can count Ceazer just a little bit fortunate against Computer for now, even leading in terms of the set score, because Simon came so close to winning the first set, playing black a little bit clumsy, failing to pot it, and Ceazer making the finish, taking the frame, which I thought Simon was winning. Anyway, now Simon trying to right the wrongs that he did in the first set, going with the Yellows, 7 of which they were 6 of which they are now. Has been a very renowned player for way more than a decade in the sport. I was lucky to see him when I was still a player. I was not a good player, I have to say. Just good enough to defeat France in Smukokwe, but I was not good enough when I was a player. But I did see him rise when he was a kid. I've seen him rise as a player and person. I respect for the fact that he has been shooting at the top ever since he won his first major competition. That was the Kampala Open Pool Championship in 2015, the whole of 10 years ago. In 2016, gaining his first call-up to the Uganda national pool team and remaining a member of the national team up to present date, representing the country in the All Africa Pool Championships in 2017, also 2019, and 2023. In 2022, he missed after passing the selection trials, but documentation wasn't right for him and missed the trip to Lusaka in Zambia. He has also played a little bit outside the country, participating in tournaments in Kenya, also South Africa, where he has been twice. He's not been to others of the major playing countries, never having been in Zambia, never having been in Zimbabwe. Now, in all of those countries, Ceazer is an established powerhouse. That's why he does start this match as a favorite. Even for this year alone, I lost count of how many events Ceazer has won. He did end the year on the 31st of December on New Year's Eve by winning a comp that was organized by the Ginger Pool Association in the city of Ginger. Then the following day, there was a competition in the city of Masaka, which he played and lost out in the earlier rounds. The only tournament out of 6 in which he has been a non-winner in Masaka. Of course, he won the next 2 at the venue, but also at the start of the year, he's won the Addis Sports Club beginning of year comp, the ATA Uganda 16-man comp, which he also defended successfully later in there. Has won the double life championship in Masaka. Did win weekly comps thrice in Entebbe. Has also won a 16-man comp of the best African players that was organized at Q Masters in Zambia. He has also been a winner of the 12-man comp that was organized of the best African players in Eldoret in Kenya. He has also come so close, but not so close enough so many times, coming second at the Q Masters International Carnival in Tanzania, also coming second at the Super 16 of the Grand Mchana in Nairobi just about over a fortnight ago. Now having to defeat Ceazer, but first trying to win this ongoing set, has to put both black and red to the same corner pocket. There goes the combination shot. There it is, played with total perfection by the computer. And maybe he's having the lion's share of the support, because I realized there was a very good round of applause. He leads computer by 3 frames to 1 in the second set. Thank you for watching. All of you that are watching from Break and Finish Live Facebook as well as Peter Chove Live YouTube, with the second set probably about to be concluded. We are now way over 1,700 watching, probably growing the number a little bit more. Victor Seigei, thank you for watching. You say it seems Ceazer was lucky to win. Okay, K-Winner Peter. Yes. Bechwana Supra Morong or Supra. This must be Supra Morong, eh? But to say you are in South Africa, I know that you are one of the most important figures in the game in Botswana. There has been a shot that has been so important by computer, granting Ceazer access on table again. He normally welcomes such access and welcomes it the any way he knows how to. Our winning frames coming close to money. Cybermock, also thank you for watching on Facebook. Norman Chirumbi, you want to play with me? Go away. Lewis Makonganya, thank you for watching on the Facebook stream. As Ceazer aims to take down the frame, attempt to win the set. If he wins this set, it will be very unlikely that he will be losing the match. Now needing to put black to the corner pocket bottom right. From this range, he always delivers. He delivers this time round. In the set number 2, it is Ceazer 2 and Simon 3. In terms of sets 1, it is Ceazer 1 and Simon 0. Findela Sithole, thank you for watching. Austin Maboza, supporting computer. Brighton Monsanje, you are watching from Livingston in Zambia. You love the Scorpion. Kipixel's photography. Francis Mkwekwe, watching from Gulugawe. Maybe you've still not yet recovered from what happened to you in Q Masters. You believe that you are in Gulu. Romeo Edwin, you're watching from Botswana. You're loving the game. George Canore, supporting Ceazer. Elvis Mugumo, also supporting Ceazer. Findela Sithole. Well, Elvis Magumo Konda Mofia must be Zambian. George Kanuri, you're watching from Kenya. Terence Sigudu, you're uploading Ceazer's cue ball management. Desmond Kipleting, thank you for watching. Asaf Edward Sakala, you're watching from Katete in Zambia. Peter, my namesake, Kewena, you're watching from South Africa. And Blaze Empty, you're watching from Botswana. Joseph from Toronto, you say. Thomas Sibanda from Zambia, supporting the Scorpion. Ronald Odiambo, you are uploading how competitive the game is. How competitive will Simon's shot be? He plays cue ball into a red. He seems to get himself snookered. Sometimes there is that saying that sometimes you can be beautiful but unlucky. And yet what he's doing is what he really has to do. Most players who become successful against Ceazer are those that are able to defeat him at his own game. Get a chance, don't allow him on the table. Count the frame on yourself. Get another, utilize it. Put Ceazer under pressure. He's human too. Sometimes he commits unforced errors as well, especially under weight of a very good shooting opponent. Simon off to cushions. Foul. Very likely that set number 2 could end in a deciding frame. Once again, here comes the Scorpion. Very clearly that Ceazer will not be letting computer back on the table. So much the darling of the fan base, so much the scarecrow of his opponents, so much the tormentor of good pool players, so much the winner of frame number 6 in set number 2. Black will be sunk, Ceazer 3 and Simon 3. For the very first time in a long while, I'm seeing this guy whose name am I forgetting? The guy who was flipping the scoreboard in Ceazer's favor quite comically when Ceazer was racing against Jerry. Tony Blair, thank you for watching on the YouTube stream. Break and finish live. Brian Barura supporting Ceazer, you're asking if Ceazer won against Ibrahim. You are watching Ceazer in the final. Come on, Masimba. Tumsime Wycliffe. Well, Mordecai Sikanyeka say this was all his game down. Kangasa Malasi watching from Kenya, watching Ceazer break and making one red. Most likely he'll be going for the reds because of the position of one of the reds in front of the yellow at the corner pocket bottom left of the screen. He may play yellow into red to try and pot red and close the table there. That's what he's just done. When the table is open, the player is at liberty to play one color and pot instead another. As long as they would have potted only one color of balls, they would have closed the table playing the color that they have potted. Another red being played to the center pocket is a miss. It could be the turning point of the set. It could also potentially be a turning point of the match. Who does know? And for the fact that in the match, Simon has been playing very well, by the way, despite one bad miss that saw him lose a set. It's the reason why even Ceazer playing as good as he does, as consistent as he can be with very big mental strength, even too, can be made under pressure to play into such errors like that. It's not just that the player is bad, but when your opponent is shooting good, it does affect your rhythm because it plays on your psyche that any shot that I fail, my opponent is good enough to take me down. Let's see how computer can take the Ceazer down. He really does need this frame, and the all-important frame in the second set of the match. If he finds a way to win this frame, he can breathe again, and he's really breathing good. Yellow potted to the center pocket on the right will be a formality cue ball going slightly towards the top end of the table. Could get it sunk. That was close, but perhaps it was intentional, maybe not. He has to be very careful and very wary. This frame should be finished. He's playing backspin, wanting to put both yellows to the same corner pocket bottom right. That was quite arrogant and quite unnecessary. He should simply have rolled it. The white ball naturally would have moved towards in a position where he puts that second yellow to the corresponding corner pocket bottom right where Ceazer is having his body, because it had a cut between that very yellow and cue ball. That was unnecessary. If Simon loses the frame, he will be as guilty as charged. Sometimes, as a commentator, your role is to critique players, even though it really does hurt them and their fans. Ceazer's mind will be on the yellow ball, the red ball that is at the corner pocket top right, which is packed right behind Simon's yellow, because the pocket is occupied by Simon's yellow. If you look at the red that is near the center pocket on the left, if Ceazer can cut it good, cue ball moves towards the top end of the table on the left. He's deciding instead to use the corresponding center pocket to open up the corner pocket. There goes the cue ball. It's played into the red, but red is not played into the yellow, and Simon can breathe again. Now this is the shot Ceazer has been contemplating. Now cue ball, when he puts red to the center pocket, is natural. Again goes to the corner pocket top left for him to open up the pocket. The opening is done. The recovery by the Scorpion is done. He still has some work to do. The cut of the only remaining red on the table to the corner pocket where he has just opened, which a moment ago did get occupied with some by Simon's yellow. Now there for the taking, ready to swallow a red, which if he does, he gets probably to the frame, goes for the bank and misses the bank, plays computer's ball back into perfect position. Simon is put back into the frame by Ceazer. The cut was safer. As long as the cut was on, he would probably have potted the ball or set, leave it packed. That is normally a safer option. Simon under pressure as well misses. Pressure, nerves. Simon concedes the frame and thereby loses the set. In terms of sets, it is Simon now 0 and Ceazer 2. While Simon has been very close to Ceazer throughout the frames, all the 6 frames that he has won in the match now do not matter. He seems to be communicating indirectly to us that maybe the table is not properly balanced. Be it the case, it won't matter. 2-0 in terms of sets 1. The Scorpion in business. I'm sad to think, I'm not intending to be pessimistic from the computer's perspective, that maybe in his mind could be having it that this is some kind of lost cause that he's fighting. And I have to upload, he has played well enough, but he has just lacked the cutting edge in both decisive frames, in both sets that have been played. He could very easily, Simon, be the one who would have been leading by 2 sets to 0. and yet that little cutting edge was missing. It is the reason why Ceazer, who did have it, is the one that instead is having the switch set 2 sets and now is having his first frame 1 in the 3rd set of the match. Sets Ceazer 2, Simon 0. Frames in set 3, Ceazer 1 and Simon 0. Another frame broken dry. Another likelihood that computer is losing a frame. Another step, Ceazer could move closer to the 800 US dollars. The guy that has become some kind of taxman in Ugandan pool, winning so many comps, winning so many money matches in their dozens. Way over 100 events that he has won ever since returning from Sharks Pool Club, where he was playing semi-professional pool in Zambia in 2022. Winning probably half of the comps in which he participates, just around half. Even when he has come short, he's always there and thereabout. In the just concluded month, visiting the United Kingdom, participating in the UK Ultimate Pool Championship, having a mega money match against one of the best Ultimate Pool players in the world in Chris Melling, losing against him only in a decisive frame. Returning to the country, only to head to Mauritius to participate in the Commonwealth Billiards Championships in Haibo, winning the event, which is the biggest victory of his career so far. Returning to the country, winning 1 weekly comp, heading to Q Masters in Tanzania, winning a 16-man comp. Now on the verge of winning another frame, winning it clinically, magically, impressively, and neatly. Ceazer Chandigar 2, Simon Luwolwa 0 in terms of frames, in terms of sets. Ceazer 2, Simon 0. In the ongoing set, if Ceazer can win 2 more frames, the tournament will be wrapped up by the Scorpion. The longest match of the competition did consume the better part of 3 hours. It was about 2 hours and 45 minutes or so between computer and Ibra Kayanja. That is where the organizer decided that the races per set be 4, not 5. The match between Ceazer and Kasozi earlier today has taken the least amount of time, of course, for the fact that it is the only one that didn't go all the way into a decisive set. Most of the matches, actually all others, have gotten decisive sets. The final is yet to take an hour because the fight has consumed 57.5 minutes, and yet Ceazer seems to be on the verge. If Simon can find a way to come back and win this one, it would be one of the most bizarre ways that Ceazer would have been defeated in a tournament final. It's actually of late that Ceazer has started losing consecutive finals as a streamer, as a follower of Paul. That one was very seldom. Most of the time in the last 3 years, as long as he was in the final, he was always winning. He has lost few comps. He has lost comps. They are quite a number, but most of the times when he's losing, it is in the earlier rounds. But of late, at Q Masters, he lost the final. At the Grand China Africa Super 16, he lost the final. He's trying to demonstrate that today he is not losing another final to make it 3 finals lost in the space of a month. But at least for Simon, Ceazer has missed a shot. Thank you for watching. Njabolo Mende asking where Ibra is. I don't know which Ibra you are actually referring to. Frisco Osman, thank you for watching. Sibuka David. Peter Chikomeko, thank you for watching on the YouTube stream. That is on Peter Chobe Live. Derek Onwanga. Wycliffe Tumsime, thank you for watching. I are on the YouTube stream. Hamilton Henry, thank you for watching from Nigeria. Curtis Nagel. Simon finds the red. He's simply hopping on hope. The body language, the mindset, the psyche is of someone that has given up on this final. There is one player. For Simon, it will be a learning lesson. I'm assuming that Ceazer is winning. Ceazer is not yet a winner, but I'm just assuming from what I'm seeing. I think it was O'Sullivan. He is actually called Ronald Kazembe. O'Sullivan, the Zimbabwean player. We are having a discussion after him losing out in the quarterfinals of the Q Masters International Carnival. I think he lost to, must have been Royd, if I'm not mistaken. I've told him I hope you have learned a thing or two, because it was the first time he was reaching that final competition. Then he told me something I'll never forget. He told me that, you know what, Peter, there is no lesson in winning. When you win, you're happy, but you just celebrate, you're happy, you learn nothing. When you lose, every loss is a lesson. If Simon loses, he will be taking this one as a lesson, having come close in a number of sets, but not close enough. Even now, he's not yet close enough. The learning curve continues. Ceazer will want to wrap this one up. I just think he will be playing one snooker here. Cue ball played towards the top left end of the table. Hide cue ball behind black. Make it difficult, if not impossible, for Simon to pot. Simon seems to be contemplating some kind of skill shot, a master shot, a big curve of the cue ball round the black to find the red, which he misses. Ceazer is just expected to play black for a free shot, and hopefully for him, take the frame down, and for him to need one out of the next 4 frames to wrap up the title. He has just played red, has played black into red. Why would you fault him? Ceazer now, because of the position of the yellows, will want to play the cue ball towards the top end of the table, cutting 1. With some English on the keyboard. Now we'll have to play a shot with similar intent again to bring it back towards the bottom end of the table where the last yellow is. The pot will be a formality. Just like that. Just demonstrating to computer what exactly computer has not been doing right. Ceazer shows him how to do it right. Now it seems it's so direct for Ceazer's liking. Needs big English on the cue ball for him to move it a little bit topwards, and has made it look so easy. That was not easy. Never was it. He will be winning the frame and will be leading by 3 frames to 0. Charisma, that's where are you watching from? You seem to be supporting Roy's. You want Ceazer to play with Roy now, eh? You leave my guy Roy there to enjoy his victory. Actually, you Ceazer fans, you are bad people. You were all over the comment section when Roy defeated Ceazer at Kimasas. He wanted a money match between Roy and Ceazer the following day before Ceazer could leave Tanzania. Most especially, it would be poor management skills if Roy was late to play a money match against anybody, because when your body is in celebration mode, you normally don't perform. And why would he risk? He had already gotten his desired objective. If Computer gets a bad break, it could be the last shot he's having in the competition. Looks like a dry break, and a dry break it is. Ceazer is visiting the table, hopefully for what will be the very last time for himself and for the competition. He's going for the yellows, for the reds. He gets to roll one red to the corner pocket and closes the table. Ceazer playing reds, aiming for a clearance that will make him $800 richer, and another comp on his bag. Another victory, another sign to show dominance, another sign to show his ruthlessness, another sign to show his seriousness on the pool table. Now having 4 reds on the table, needing to play probably the one near the corner pocket bottom right first. He goes instead for a cut of another red to a corresponding corner pocket, which he doesn't get in, and allows Computer at least back into the frame. The Computer needs to update its Windows. The Scorpion is ready to sting at any opportunity granted. Here comes another opportunity. Every miss for Simon is an opportunity for Ceazer. Every chance for Ceazer to play in the frame is always an opportunity. Now having to play red, which is so close to the cushion, and I think he may want to play the cue ball into the red. That is pretty much touching the black, which if he does, they'll be playing both the black and the dead red open for him to make a final clearance that will make him $800 richer and will be winning yet another comp. He doesn't need to do that. He has retaliated even better. White ball placed in the same exact position he would need if we are given an opportunity to place it by plain hand. Wanting to put red now to the center pocket on the left. Cue ball bouncing off the cushion. It is a miss. Come on, Computer. Make the ultimate pool family happy today. Win a frame. Try to win another. Steal the set away. Put Ceazer under pressure. Bring the match back into life. He simply just has to get himself out of pressure. Sometimes you just play like I don't have anything else to lose now. Everybody assumes I am losing. Let me just play my game. Sometimes that kind of attitude can get your best game out of yourself, and before we know, the match is closed once again. Maybe it's the kind of attitude he's wearing now. Let's see how far it will go. That was good cueing. It came so close to him sinking in the cue ball. But yes, he remains relatively safe. How good will he play the cue ball this time round? Well. He came a little bit short. It is safer to play safe here. Hide the cue ball behind the black. He goes for the clearance and misses the ball. That shot could have missed him the match and could have missed him the competition. Ceazer needing to cut one final red one. Last big shot, cut the red sharp to the corner pocket, top left white ball bouncing off maybe at least 2 cushions. It has to be played into space just around the point near the middle of the table, and he will be another comp down in the bag. That is the shot. Beautiful queuing, like the Scorpion has always does. Before he puts the black, he's already getting a round of applause from the fans as he wins the second edition of the Dice Lounge Uganda Super 8-man competition. It has been 2 days. It has been 8 players. There is always one winner. After a very good entertainment, once again, Ceazer is champion.